Master Chief Petty Officer George Fischer, U.S. Navy, retired.
And congratulations on being our Master Chief. If you can just explain to me a few years, a few highlights of the years that you served.
Well, it's in the book. Yeah, well, I enlisted World War II as a combat air crewman with the Navy, and boot camp, which is basic training, Memphis, Tennessee. Then went to aircraft mechanic school in Norman, Oklahoma. Then aircraft gunnery school in Opelika, Florida, outside of Miami. Then I was trained for a gunner on TBN aircraft, which is the same that George Bush lost in the Pacific, World War II. I was a gunner on that, but the war ended, so we were taken out of flight status, and I worked as an aircraft mechanic for the Navy. Was sent over to Hawaii, so I spent 6 months in Maui and working on a flight line with carrier aircraft at Kahului, Maui. Was a naval air station at that time. And so I stayed there and worked as a mechanic because we were out of a air crewman flight status. And then I came back and was discharged off of active duty in 1946. Then I got in the Naval Reserve. I was inactive, and I went to Los Angeles, LA City College, and while I was going there, I joined the Naval Reserve at Los Alamitos. It was a naval air station at that time. Right now it's U.S. National Guard. And so in the interim, through the years, I flew out of Los Alamitos as a crew chief, plane captain, on PV-2 aircraft, and then we were transferred to out of San Diego in North Island. The squadron was called a patrol squadron, which is anti-sub warfare, and that was a twin engine. Then we lived in Hawaii for a short while. I was inactive and moved back to Los Angeles and went back in the Navy Reserve Squadron. And then we transferred our squadron down to San Diego, North Island. And then they formed a new squadron at Point Mugu, VP-65. So I was there on VP-65 for, Jan, about 4 years. 4 or 5. And then I was out of there. I went to a helicopter squadron for a while, and then went back to a C-9, which is a DC-9 patrol squadron, as a crew chief flight engineer. And then I worked as a command master chief, which is head of a squadron with a couple fighter units and Naval Air Station Miramar. And I went aboard 2 aircraft carriers, the Enterprise and the Ranger. And in that interim, I was from the Ranger. I worked under what they called, it was a whole group of naval fighter squadrons, from reserve squadron from Whidbey Island to San Diego aboard the carrier Ranger out of San Diego. And I was what you would call temporarily assigned as the command master chief for CAG 30, which is an air group commander, which is a captain, and I worked under him aboard the carrier the Ranger. And he was in charge of all the reserve units, aircraft and personnel, and I worked as his direct liaison as the command master chief. And then after that, it was back to back to Miramar, Naval Air Station Miramar, where I ended up retiring out of there in 1987, and out of the active, affiliated with the Naval Air Reserve, other than doing other things. So that's as Naval Air Crew. That's about it. And I was with Civil Air Patrol out of here, and I flew a lot in that. I'm based at. Well, we both live at Rosamond Sky Park, and I have an aircraft, a Beach Bonanza, which I've flown a lot of search and rescue. But I'm not in flight status now because medically I can't pass the medical, so I quit flying as a pilot. I've flown with a lot of other people, but basically I've flown a lot with search and rescue. With the Civil Air Patrol. In fact, is way back in 1969, there was a Gambler Special DC-3 missing on a flight from Hawthorne, Nevada to Long Beach, and I flew search on that. Only I ended up getting caught in heavy weather, and I crashed into the snow. I landed roughly in the snow up in the high Sierras, west of Bishop, about 20 miles. And spent a night there, and then we were finally rescued the next day by helicopter and taken back down to Bishop out of the mountains. And from there, I spent a month in the hospital and then got back out. So I went back and continued to fly with Civil Air Patrol. I'm still with the Civil Air Patrol. I have a rank of Lieutenant Colonel. And I'm not flying active with them. Through the years, I've flown with them about, I don't know, I got 900 hours or so flying search and rescue with the Civil Air Patrol. And so anyway, then back to here, and so I still was with the Rosamond Sky Park. One of the directors. I was a airport operator, manager for about 10 years in the 90s. And I'm still on the board of directors at the Sky Park. So, and then I retired from LA City. You want that too? I retired from LA City Fire Department.
Oh, wow.
And I've had 30 years on that. And so I still worked a lot of fire safety officer and that. And then, in addition, I went to Cal State Long Beach and got my bachelor's and master's, and I taught school there for about 4 years before I moved up to Rosamond. And so that, Jan, is that covered pretty good? That covered pretty. She's the technical advisor. So anyway, that ended up in the, actually a year ago they asked me if I could work with the parade, and I said no, I was going on a cruise, but I'll help you next year if you need it. I didn't think anything about it until next year came around, and he said, well, you said you would? Okay, sure, I'll be glad to. You got a great outfit here, and a lot of neat people that work hard, Terry and all the rest of them. And your husband works hard keeping the papers going.
You bet he does. Thank you very much. I'll tell him.
Yeah, no, he does. I read his stuff. And he come by the house one time and gave him him and a couple guys were looking for, no, they had two young people, and they were soliciting for the new television portion. Anyway, so I gave him a couple Cokes. It was one of those hot days around 100, so I had some extra Cokes. I gave it to him. Keep him cool for the rest of his route.
Well, thank you, Grand Marshal Master Chief George Fischer, and I hope you enjoy today.
Oh, I think I will, and I thank you kindly for your good work with the press.
Thank you.
Taking care of all of us.
Our Rosamond High School Air Force JROTC Unit Color Guard. So this Air Force JROTC consists of at least 10% of the school student body and is run by the cadets with the assistance of the two instructors. The cadets all volunteered to be in the program, and those here volunteered to participate in the parade. So thank you for the opportunity to lead your parade again, says Master Sergeant Taylor, one of their instructors.
Order, arms! Reset your formation.
Thank you, Rosamond Air Force JROTC, Color Guard and Cadets.
Face.
And thank you, Rosamond High School Roadrunner Marching Band and Color Guard.
Forward. March.
The Rosamond High School Band is proud to march today in our hometown, they say. The march we play is Entry of the Gladiators by Fusick. Our drum major is Ivan Contreras. Color Guard captain is Caitlin Wisdom. Drum line captain is Marcus Ravelis. Director is Tomas Sanderson, and Color Guard directors are Sandy Abrams, Kevin Slocum. We would also like to thank Mrs. Robin King, who takes care of our uniforms. So thank you, Rosamond High School Roadrunner Marching Band. Next up is our underachieving Grand Marshal George Fischer. I've already read you all the stuff about him. My God, has this guy done a lot? You know, I have to agree with the write-up here. It's no wonder the word dynamo is a fair description. I think it's just not enough. You know, here he is, survivor of the crash. Looks good in a convertible. Plus, he's earned his pilot wings and scuba diving certifications, and both a bachelor and master's degree in industrial arts from Cal State University at Long Beach, and he became a registered architect. George, or as I call him, Master Chief, is a real underachiever, apparently. It's no wonder the word dynamo is a fair description of George. In his spare time, he taught at California State University, Long Beach, and served 22 years in the Civil Air Patrol, flying 285 missions, ranking his Navy counterpart to achieve the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in the Civil Air Patrol. He served as airport manager at Rosamond Sky Park for 10 years. He's a member of the board of directors for the Rosamond, that's a little too much there, for the Sky Park, as well as the Antelope Valley Historical Society. From 1993 to 2003, he flew as a part of the search and rescue volunteer group at the Kern County Sheriff's Department, identifying possible drug cultivation. This man graduated as a mechanic and gunner on TBMs, I'm not sure what that is, and the big torpedo bombers, that President George W. Bush flew, actually. His flight time included crew chief in a Lockheed PV-2 patrol aircraft, HAC-5A helicopter, support of anti-submarine warfare, aerial gunner with a 250 caliber machine gun, among other flights and aircraft. Machine gunner, no wonder he's a big shot. He worked as a flight engineer for Pan American Airlines and airline mechanic for Hawaiian Air and Pan American Airlines. I don't think he's ever stopped working ever. He made trips to Washington, D.C., Spain, Canada, Hawaii, Pacific Rim on behalf of the U.S. Navy, and served on the USS Enterprise and the USS Ranger. Somehow, along the way, he met and married his beautiful wife, Janet, and she is just a sweetheart. And they raised 2 sons. Getting a little feedback here. In 1969, George was part of the vast Civil Air Patrol search for a DC-3 Gambler Special, which had disappeared on a night run from Hawthorne, Nevada to Burbank, coming the slopes at 12,000 feet, this Beechcraft Bonanza. He crashed on the snowy slopes of Mount Tom, west of Bishop, and is here today to talk about it. He and his 2 observers spent the night in sub-zero temperature, leaving the others in the plane. George used a piece of the plane's broken windshield to sled down the mountain slopes. What a guy. A rescue helicopter spotted his tracks with all 3 being rescued. So today's theme is local heroes past and present. I think we would have to call George Fischer a hero, wouldn't you? So be sure to, when you see him, thank him. You can't miss him. and he's a heck of a guy, and he's just as friendly as can be. He's our local hero, and that's our Grand Marshal for today. Representing the Rosamond Chamber of Commerce is our Chamber President, Terry Landseedle. And the Chamber office is right across the street from where we are at 2861 Diamond. These folks are, and along with his bodyguard, Pan Patel. Yeah, you like that, huh? I'm doing some major sucking up here. Yeah, thanks, guys. Hey, the street looks great, doesn't it? All right. Yes. Miss Rosamond, Megan Williams up there. Ooh, and a convert. Oh, how did? Oh. Oh. Well, of course. Megan is honored to be here as queen for her third and final time. She was Little Miss Rosamond 2004, Junior Miss Rosamond 2011, now Miss Rosamond 2015. Wow. She is only the second woman to carry all three titles. As a Rosamond Queen, Megan has enjoyed many events, but her favorite is always paying tribute to the Armed Forces in her hometown parade. She'd like to thank all past and present heroes for the gift of freedom. I think what we've got next, and I hope that we're right, 5B, okay, we have Teen Miss Rosamond 2015. Whew. Okay, Courtney Jones. Courtney would like to say thank you to all the men and women who have served in our military, police forces, and fire departments. You are all my heroes, she said. And you get to ride in a Corvette convertible. Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, the Corvette Club. Oh, thank you for letting me know that. I wish I'd known that earlier. 2015 Young Miss Rosamond, Cadence Cabrera. Cadence? I hope. 5C. Okay. Cadence Cabrera is Young Miss Rosamond 2015. She is proud to be in the land of the free. You got the wave down. I'm telling you. Yeah, I feel I should have worn my tiara. Okay, next up, thanks to the Corvette Club, we have Little Miss Rosamond and Little Miss Antelope Valley 2015. Ashland Compton. Very nice. With 2 bodyguards. Yeah. And she wants to thank all those that serve and have served in the armed forces. And I'm going by size here. Miss 2015 Tiny Miss Rosamond. Tiny Miss Rosamond, Jenna Cambaliza, right? Would like to thank everyone for coming out and supporting our armed forces. Well, thank you, Jenna. You're doing a very good job. That's kind of neat. They have the same color cushion to sit on. Okay. Next up, Rosamond News, celebrating 30 years in 2016, so next year, which means it's 29 years today, with no missed issues. Rosamond's only hometown news, both online and in print, largest paid circulation, and they don't just have written stories there. There's a lot of video. There's some being shot right now as we speak. And so Rosamond News, you know, it's kind of too bad that the flag's covering it up, but rosamondnews.com is where to go to for that. And you know, pick it up or get a subscription. So thank you, Rosamond News, for keeping us up to date on what's happening here in Rosamond. Next up, Mobile Glow Detailing. It's owned and operated by Angel and Jesse Beltran. And they are your local, Rosamond's local mobile detail and car washing company. They are serving you today and doing their best to keep the crowd cool. Just by their presence. Well, as are we. Make sure to check out their booth at the Glendale Park during the Septemberfest, right after the parade. They'll be able to wash your car while you're having fun with the family. Oh, that's handy. We have to go to Septemberfest. No, I gotta wash the car. I got an idea. Let's do both. Wow. Play Misty for me. Yeah, see? There we are. They give thanks and appreciation to all our local veterans and those around the world. That's Mobile Glow Detailing. Next up, Antelope Valley Blue Star Mothers, Chapter 14. They're supporting all active duty troops around the globe, including all veterans returning home, supporting our all troops who have given their ultimate sacrifice and their Gold Star families. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, all of my grandsons are either in the military or have served. So we're pretty proud of that, actually. Next up, the 501st Legion is a worldwide all-volunteer group of Star Wars fans who portrays the villains of Star Wars along with the members of their sister organization, the Rebel Legion, who represent the heroes. Really? I gotta join. Both pubs share in the mission their love of Star Wars. They help build screen-accurate costumes and props, as well as support charitable organizations in their local communities and around the world. They would like you to know that they support all of our Antelope Valley veterans. And R2-D2 made it. It says, a note here, may be coming. Please mention if he does. Well, there he is. Our very own R2-D2. Huh? Hey, R2. He said, thanks for coming out to the parade. Yeah, there he's waving. Doesn't exactly have the Queen's wave down, but close enough for a robot. You're actually able to order him off the a la carte menu. Does anybody get that? Okay. The 501st Legion. Here come the villains now, folks. But whether they're good or they're bad, they support the veterans. Right, fellas? Yeah, there they are. Stormtroopers. Hey. Are you guys local?
We're all around the world.
You're all around right now? Or just here? You have members all around the world. Well, look them up, check them out. 501st Legion. Especially if you want to be a villain. This is the place to be. Okay, next up, a personal bookkeeper by Laura Velasquez. A personal bookkeeper who serves Rosamond, Antelope Valley, Mojave, Cal City with bookkeeping and payroll services. Count on her. Get it? It's accounting humor. It's all I got. It wasn't in the script. Laura gives big thanks to our military branches and for their service. Yes, and she's holding the POW MIA Day flag. Some folks have asked, well, when is that? That's mid-September. It was just a couple of weeks ago. Around the same time as the birthday of the Air Force, matter of fact. So thank you, Laura. Next up, Quartz Hill Community Queens. Miss Christine Andrews, Junior Miss Anaya Cosby, Little Miss Gracie Moody would like to salute all the servicemen and women, both at home and abroad. A special thank you to Rally Auto Sales in Palmdale for their generous support of the Quartz Hill Community Queens. That is awfully nice of them. If you would like to stop by and get one of those special GMC vehicles, tell them we sent you. Okay, do they charge double in or half? There are no details here. I'm just trying to figure. Thanks, Rosamond, for recognizing our armed forces. Ooh, that's a nice decoration in the back there. That looks. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you, ladies. Next up, Boy Scouts of America, Troop number 41. They're sponsored by the American Legion Post 476. This troop has been active in Rosamond since 1944, when George, our Grand Marshal, started collecting Social Security, and is the oldest continuing troop in the Antelope Valley. Through scouting, boys learn to become leaders by leading other boys. The members of Troop 41, by the way, the commander of Edwards Air Force Base, Brigadier General Schaefer, is an Eagle Scout. Troop number 41 would like to salute all our past and present members of our country's armed forces for helping our nation stay the land of the free and home of the brave. So thank you, Boy Scouts. Are you going to have a booth at the Septemberfest? No? So people can buy stuff? Aren't you in fundraising mode? This is the Antelope Valley area, and thank God they do. Okay? Call Horn Plumbing for all your plumbing needs. John gives a big thanks and appreciation to our armed forces, and we give you a big thanks for taking care of the stuff that needs flushing. I'm just saying, a royal flush is better than a full house. Ain't that the truth? Next up, and you'll get a kick out of this, Rosamond American Youth Soccer Organization. Woo-hoo! AYSO, and by the way, this entry takes about a block. Just, yeah. This is just the front. These are the point guys up here. Right? Am I right? Okay. They're a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization that consists of over 50,000 teams. Now, this is not just for Rosamond. This is around the whole world. Okay, and 500,000 players nationwide. Not all of them are here, but a fair share of them are. Rosamond AYSO was founded over 23 years ago with 2 teams. Today, they have 42 teams and 320 players, most of which are marching in our parade today, ranging in ages from 4, aren't they cute, to 13 years old. Soccer. It's a kick in the grass. Who wrote this? Who? You wrote it? Raise your hand if you wrote it. Yeah, see? Oh, see? Kick in the grass. Oh, my gosh. That's their goal, apparently. Yeah, wait. You forgot your socks. Where's your socks? Yeah, see? Your folks probably insisted on these because they probably don't have an odor. Oh, they do? Okay. Well, that makes sense. The little kid in the stroller saying, you won't have me to push around for long. Oh, here we have the performing dog. Queen Barcelona. Hi, sweetie. Da-da-da-da-da-da. There we go. So AYSO, thank you very much. Next up, Rosamond Baptist Church. A church where everyone is welcomed, no one is perfect, and you are encouraged. So if you're not perfect, this is the church to go to. Yeah, if you are perfect, yeah, you don't, wrong, get out of here with that. Service time 10:30, just a couple of blocks from here. Come by, say hi, worship God. You did make everything we see and touch and smell and taste and hear with the words he spoke. It's the least we can do.
You guys want some candy? Yeah? Take Rob. There you go.
Oh. Busted. Move along. It's all over. Nothing to see. Oh, thanks. All right. Next up, this is, it's fun to watch them in a parade, but man, I sure hate to see these lights in my rear view mirror. California Highway Patrol Mojave. The Mojave office patrols over 4,800 miles of eastern Kern County. That's a lot. There's a lot of real estate in between light bulbs out here, guys. And they're out there patrolling, keep our roadways safe. They're proud to serve the community in Rosamond, and they want to thank all the men and women of the armed forces for their service to our country. We, in turn, want to thank you for your service, help making our streets safer. You'll notice that very often they're along our roads when the kids are either going to school or coming home from school to remind you young lives are right by the side of the road. All right, next up. Oh, thank you. But I can't see the number. Where's the number? Where is it? It's not in the window. It's not in the window. Next up, Rosamond Community Watch Program. I'm glad to see the kids in the back made bail for this. The Rosamond Community Watch Program is dedicated to make our community safer and cleaner and more informed by working in conjunction with local law enforcement, community organizations to reduce crime and improve our quality of life. We salute our hometown heroes. Oh, gee. Next up, I appreciate that, man. You have no clue, because we have no other way of knowing what the heck you work. The Lancaster Army Recruiting Center. Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks for bringing in my youngest grandson, by the way. I just thought it. Yeah. And his brother, yeah, and his older cousin. Army, the Army. You know, it used to be that the Army was the employer of last resort. Not anymore. So we've got the folks here. Come see them afterwards and talk to them about the opportunities. Next up, Little Miss Quartz Hill, Olivia Bennett. Is this for 25th? Hi, Olivia. You all alone back there? You look so nice. They'd like to thank all our troops for their service. So thank you, Olivia. This next group, we're talking about some pulled plug wires here. These are the Fun Time Cruisers. This is a unique car club in the Antelope Valley and surrounding areas. They ride proud and support our troops. Fun time cruisers, because they're PT cruisers. The fun is spelled with a PH. This is PT Cruise. So thank you guys for coming out. And you know what? Is Eeyore in this parade? I don't see Eeyore. Normally I see Eeyore in this section. Oh. I didn't know they made a PT convertible, but apparently they do. All right. So thank you, PT Cruisers. Now coming up, and I try not to talk when they're playing music, but so we'll talk about them now. We have the Tropico Eagles Marching Band and Flag Team from our own Tropico Middle School. It's under the direction of John and Judy Ferrandini. The Tropico Eagles are proud to represent our hometown all over Southern California, and they do. We march Project March by Harold Bennett. Our drum major is Miss Jessica Karkevich. Our flag team captain is Miss Caddy Cobbett. And they want to thank all armed forces, both local and worldwide. So here we have the Tropico Eagles Marching Band and Flag Team. It's middle school, dude. Don't you hate it when that flag does that? Let's hear it for them. Tropico Eagles Marching Band and Flag Team. I just have a hard time believing that John Ferrandini was taking a golf cart this time. That's the height of something right there. Followed by the groupies. Just saying. Next up, and here's our favorite, representing the 412th Test Wing at Edwards Air Force Base, Colonel Robert Lepper, commander of the 412th Maintenance Group. Those are good-looking signs on that thing. And his wife, Dawn, by the way, who has achieved sainthood by being married to Bob for so long. The maintenance group provides flight line and back shop maintenance, repair, modification, instrumentation support for the Air Force, DoD, and contractor aircraft undergoing developmental tests and evaluation at the base. His unit, the maintenance group, leads 1,700 maintenance personnel supporting over 80 highly modified, uniquely configured test aircraft, support aircraft featuring an impressive 16 different mission design series aircraft operating 25 different kind of propulsion systems, making this the most diverse maintenance unit in the Air Force. So when you see Colonel Lepper, thank him for his 34 years of active service. Thank you, Colonel Lepper. Next up, you're smoking there, man. What the heck's going on? High Desert Vapor Incorporated. You're killing me. You're killing me. Yeah, I've got the vapors myself, but I don't think we're talking the same thing. They're located in Rosamond and Quartz Hill. Come check out our new location, the corner of Rosamond and Desert and Rosamond. Open daily. They're a proud supporter of the vets. We welcome. We give military discounts to all active and retired military. So, your one-stop vapor shop. Premium and e-juice. So thank you, High Desert Vapor. I don't remember seeing them in the parade before, so welcome. Antelope Valley Queens up next. God willing. The 2015 Queens would like to thank and acknowledge all heroes past and present for their sacrifices. what we have here are Miss A.V. Emily Booth from Cal City, Teen Miss Allie Williams from Rosamond, Young Miss Colleen Murillo from Mojave, Little Miss Ashlyn Compton from Rosamond, and Tiny Miss Peyton Segal from Rosamond. So thank you. Wow. Thank you. Well, you really went all out. Thank you guys for... I didn't need the script. I could read it right off the side of the truck. That's way cool. Thank you to our heroes. And you got a couple of heroes riding in back. That's pretty cool. Oh, and you each have a hat. Oh. Thank you for each branch of the military. Thank you, ladies. And you'll be at the park after, so everybody can come by and say thank you. Just thank you, fellas, for participating. Yep. Next up, at a safe distance away from the band, we have the Rosamond High School cheerleaders. Okay. Yeah, they're coached by Lindsay Williams and led by Captain Sharia Boyce, co-captain Kat Hughes. RHS cheerleaders would like to thank all our heroes. Take it away.
We are the runners, and we will go, 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 and we will fight, and we will fight, 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 and we will win, and we will win, 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 and we will go, fight, win.
Thank you, ladies. Rosamond High School cheerleaders. Wow. Yeah, so when you see them at the park later too, thank them for their service. You know, bunting. Good thing to sit on. All right. So thank you, ladies. Next up, Higher Option. They're a nonprofit organization that serves the local community in to the road of recovery from substance abuse. Higher Options thanks the Armed Forces for all that they do. Bud Bryant with Bryant Dump and Drilling drives for Higher Options, so thank you, Bud, for doing that. Thank you. And Higher Option! Along with musical accompaniment. Yeah. Playing a guitar, I understand, is strum fun. Okay, next up, Civil Air Patrol, Poncho Barnes, Composite Squad number 49. You know, in Civil Air Patrol, we've got the cadet program. These folks represent that. And then we have the more senior ones that go out and do search and rescue. But Civil Air Patrol is very active here in the Antelope Valley. So thank you, Civil Air Patrol, Poncho Barnes Composite Squadron, for coming out number 49. So if you see these guys up at the park, ask them how to join. They're part of the Air Force Auxiliary. Thank you. Next up, Edwards Federal Credit Union. They're a proud sponsor of the 2015 Septemberfest and Armed Forces Day Parade. Live in the Antelope Valley, work in the Antelope Valley, then you can bank with Edwards Federal Credit Union, which is where I bank, matter of fact. With incredibly low rates. Remember that Edwards Federal Credit Union, when you need a home, auto loan, vacation loan, whatever, they're there for you. So thank you, Gene, for coming on out this morning for that. They have from online to mobile banking products to our credit cards, investments. They're the perfect choice for all of your banking and lending needs. Edwards Federal Credit Union, the right way to bank. Visit us online, www.edwardsfcu.org. Federally insured. So thank you, Edwards Federal Credit Union, for coming on out today. Next up, the 2015 East Kern Community Queens. We've got Tiny Miss Serenity Timms, Little Miss Miriam Falapando, Junior Miss Kirsten Howard, Miss East Kern County Perry Rhodes, and they'd all like to thank those that serve and have served to protect our freedom. Let freedom ring. So thank you, ladies, for coming on up. Next up, and I'm sure you'll find this shocking, is Southern Kern Solar. See, solar, power, electric, shocking. Okay, they're located at 410 Grand Cypress in Palmdale. For all your solar needs, Southern California Solar would like to thank those in armed forces for their protection of our great nation. So thank you, SoCal Solar, for coming out. Why lease when you can own? I'm assuming you mean with the power equipment, not just for everything you own in your house. The least we could say. Residential and commercial, go talk to them. Ask them. Their number, 877-852-6301. Ask the questions, get the answers. take advantage of the sunshine. We have a lot of that stuff splashing down on us today, don't we? So thank you, SoCal Solar. There's a pool hall inside this vehicle. Yeah, there's actually a tournament going on as we speak. We can't see because of the windows, but they got about 16 pool tables in there. Yeah, it's a golf tournament. Yeah, the old pitch and putt is in this one. Yeah, so here we are. So RC. You know, some of the groups that have visited Edwards for the tours have flown in, and RC has gone out and picked up at the airport, brought them out for the tour. So you need transportation for a lot of folks who want to travel in style. Oh, thank you, sweetie. That was a good salute. You did a good job. Yeah, oh my God. Oh, RC's Affordable Limousine Service. Next up, Edwards Air Force Base, JROTC. Proudly recognizing the fallen heroes of the U.S. military. We have a number of JROTC units here in the Antelope Valley, and this is the one from Edwards Air Force Base at Desert High School. Notice they're carrying a cover for each of the branches of the military. So here they are. So thank you guys. Looking sharp. Thank you for coming on out.
Ready? Run.
Okay. Following the Edwards Air Force Base JROTC are the Edwards Air Force Base Community Queens. We have Miss Edwards, Danica Blake, Teen Miss Edwards, Ariana Medina, Junior Miss Edwards, Heather Bird, Little Miss Edwards, Scarlett Coble, and Tiny Miss Edwards, Adriana Coble. Let's keep it in the family. We're carpooling encouraged. Edwards Air Force Base Community Queens float is commemorating 9/11. Very good job, actually. And all those who have sacrificed for our freedom. The float displays replicas of the Twin Towers in New York. We never forget, they say. We need to stop and take a moment today to remember those that lost their lives in the attacks, and also the ones left behind, and the current day heroes protecting our freedom from those kinds of acts at home. Next up for a little horsing around, here we have the Southern Kern Roping and Riding Club. These are just a few of the members of the Southern Kern Roping and Riding Club. This is the oldest equestrian group in the Antelope Valley. Come on out. They're here watch the fun every Saturday night, right? Yep. See, right, we're through October. Behind Rosamond High School. Kern Roping and Riding. Wow. You know, when I used to march in bands as a kid, we used to follow the equestrian units. Dude. Not this time. Okay. I ruined more white shoes, buddy, let me tell you. They're boink. They're out of there. So thank you, Southern Kern Roping and Riding. Following at a safe distance, we have the 2015 Boron Community Queens. They're smart. Don't get too close to the horses. Find out where the trail markers are and avoid them. Miss Boron, Kara Sexton Ross. Teen Miss Boron, Brittany Sheridan. Oh, okay. I know your dad. Junior Miss Rose Odell. Young Miss McKaylee Burkhead, and Little Miss Madison Riddle. So thank you, Boron Community Queens, for coming out today, and all of you having easy enough last names that I can pronounce them. Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh, nice. Oh, thank you. You gonna be at the park after? Okay, so stop by. Next up, Rosamond Red Racers 4-H Club. I think. The car you are seeing, let's hope I'm right because I can't see the number from here, was built by the kids of Rosamond Red Racers 4-H Club and was raced at the Antelope Valley Fair. Oh. Please check us out on our Facebook page, Rosamond Red Racers 4-H. The Red Racers would also like to thank all those who served. You know, when I was a kid, I wanted to join 4-H, but I could never find anybody to ask. So if you see these kids or any of these folks from 4-H, ask them, how can I be a part of it? Your parents, your kids will be better off in the long run if they get involved with 4-H today. Now, come on, what did you do to that car? What did you do? You wrecked it all up.
We raced it!
Yeah, you said what it was. Yeah, which one of you kids was driving? Come on, fess up, I know it was you. Figure. Oh, is this the figure eight? Oh no. This is a survivor of a figure eight race. All right then, we did all right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all right. So yeah, come by, check it out. Don't let this happen to your car. All right. Next up, what number you got there, pal? Yeah, C. Okay, windswept ranch, which would explain the windswept number I hasten to add. Oh, get up close and personal with all the animals in windswept ranch. You can get kissed by a camel, and who wouldn't want to do that to have them? Bond with the, yeah, I'm busy talking. Otherwise, I'm right there for you. Bond with a bison. Count the stripes on a zebra. Which stripes do you count? But hurry, windswept is only open on Saturdays and closes at the end of October. So, yeah. You know, it would be more appropriate if this parade would be on Wednesday because that's hump day. Yeah. Yeah, the camel's getting ready to spit. I've heard that joke before. Hit the bricks, pal. Who you think you're original? Get out of here with that. Yeah. There we go. Hump day. There's a guy in our office that does that so perfectly I can't stand it. All right, next up, following the camels, California Earth Pageants. Miss Teen Earth Central California, Courtney Wood. Teen Miss Earth Kern County, Autumn Sanborn. Junior Miss Earth Ruby Zhang. Thank you to our sailors and airmen and the other service members, which would be soldiers, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen. Just thought I'd bring it up. Oh, now here's a touch of class. Remember, I spent 12 years Navy. Here we have the Antelope Valley Navy JROTC and Color Guard and Squad. They'd like to thank all our military veterans in active duty. Let's hear for the Navy. You know, our Grand Marshal's a Master Chief. Just thought I'd bring this up. Looking sharp. You know, the Rustin House in Lancaster is owned and operated by a former Marine. He stopped by my table one time and he says, you know, the Marines are a department of the Navy. I said, yeah, I knew that. No, you don't understand. The men's department. So if you happen to buy the Rustin House, don't say anything derogatory about the Marines. We'd be washing dishes, I'll tell you that right now. There's Antelope Valley, JROTC, Color Guard, and Arm Squad. Very good, by the way. Next up, the Praise In Church. Come join us at 2700 20th Street at 10:30 tomorrow. And let us praise God for His goodness. So praise in church. All right. Wonder why they call it a float if it's not really floating. It's on wheels. I don't understand the terminology. You know what I miss, and I hope, and I didn't see it in the lineup, but Foster's Freeze used to have a float that was a guy in a costume that made him look like a root beer float. I thought that was hysterical. So thank you, Praise in Church, for your float. Next up, the 2015 Rosamond Royal Court. Miss Rosamond, Megan Williams. Teen Miss Rosamond, Courtney Jones. Junior Miss Rosamond, Angel Aguirre. Young Miss Rosamond, Cadence Collette. Little Miss Rosamond, Little Miss Antelope Valley, Ashlyn Compton. Tiny Miss Rosamond, Jenna Cavaliza. You got a lot of names here, guys. Young Miss Rosamond, Princess Brianna Long. Thank you for stopping so get this done. Little Miss Princess Katie Jorgensen. Tiny Miss Rosamond, Princess Tori Melchers. They'd like to thank everyone for coming out and supporting our troops. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Try and influence the judges, eh? Yeah, that just might work. The Rosamond Royal Court. Thank you. Ready? Yeah, make sure everybody's sitting. They're waiting for you to sit down. I didn't realize. It's our fault. Thank you, ladies. How come we don't get tiaras? All right. Next up, driving an International KB2 pickup, is our representative from the Rosamond Municipal Advisory Council, our very own Bill Wildman Parkman. That's a nice truck, Bill, I got to tell you. The RMAC serves as community's voice to the Kern County Board of Supervisors through our supervisor, Zach Scrivener, District 2. The board is staffed by me, Bill, Gary Thiemann, Olaf Lasgar, Cheryl Romo, Justin Wright, Dan Spoor, and the board is sponsoring Bill's 1949 International KB2 pickup in this year's parade. Curiously, this is a 1949 pickup. This was the this truck isn't older than Bill. He bought this new off the lot, so I'm just saying. So thank you, Bill. Yeah, go ahead on, man. Yeah. He's one of the hardest working members on our board, by the way, Bill Parkman. Outstanding Rosamond representative. Next up, we have the Lake Los Angeles Court. Your name's not on the paper, so I'm going to have to read it off the thing. We have Miss Lake Los Angeles, Bethany Benoit, or Benoit, depending on how you pronounce it. Teen Miss Lake Los Angeles, Cheyenne Anderson. And Tiny Miss Lake Los Angeles, Hannah Mae Ewell. And some others. Your names aren't, I see, they forgot their magnets. So you shall serve an anonymity. That's how that works. So thank you, lady. From Lake LA, that's a heck of a ways for us. I think what we have up next are the Mojave Queens, right? Yes. Thank God. Okay. What we have here are Miss Mojave, Heidi Stroh, Teen Miss Mojave, Cheyenne Mitchell. Cheyenne's a popular name these days. Junior Miss Mojave, Vanessa Stevens. Young Miss Mojave, Candelera Vera. Faith Ashcraft is Little Miss Mojave, and Priscilla Ponce is Tiny Miss Mojave. Princesses are Destiny Flores, Michaela Davison, and Aurora Steelman. So thank you for coming down from Mojave today. Thank you for coming on out. Yeah, all the way from Mojave. Okay. Next up, I think, are Antelope Acres Queens. We've got Harley Kaminsky, Kaylee Shaughnessy, Michaela Vasquez, and those are the Miss, Junior Miss, and Little Miss Antelope Acres Queens. Would have been nice if we had them matched up here, but we got them in. They want to thank Armed Forces members as well for the sacrifice they bring. So thank you, ladies, and I hope you guys were at your parade last week. Wasn't that a good one? Yeah, thank you. All the way from Antelope Acres. Next we have Miss Lancaster. Okay, Ashlyn? Yeah. Okay, Ashlyn Winchester. And Little Miss Lancaster. Is it Zaria? Is that it?
Zaria.
Zaria? There's no pronunciation guide here. You know, Fernandez. Fernandez I got, okay.
It's fine, everybody gets it wrong.
Well, then I'm not alone, am I? You're just one of the rabble that screws it up, Dennis. Who do you think you are? Their vehicle is donated and sponsored by H.W. Hunter, and both the H.W. Hunter and our Queens from Lancaster would like to thank all the men and women who have served and are currently serving in the military, which, by the way, would be all of y'all. Okay? Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but we have a number of those folks up here on the platform. They're our judges for today, and we'll announce them in just a minute. Next up, the East Side Court. Well, and, uh-oh. All right. East Side Court. Keely Hine is the Miss East Side. Aaliyah Giordano, Little Miss, is Junior Miss. Little Miss is Kayla, is it Couts? Okay, well, thank God. And they want to salute all American heroes too, so thank you for coming on out. And hopefully you've got your balance in case they pop a wheelie. You'll be all right. All right. Before we get to the RCSD, I sure want to thank our judges today, Chief Master Sergeant Arnold, Chief Master Sergeant Segebarth, and Chief Master Sergeant Atkinson, along with Tech Sergeant Thinkman, for being our judges today. And here we have the Rosamond Community Services District. This is their vehicle, Sweet Sue. This vehicle is used for sucking out storm drains, isn't it, Olaf? It's used for sucking out storm drains? Clean out your sewer. And speaking of sucking up, here's Olaf Landsgaard, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Keith is driving. So thank you, RCSD, for keeping things moving today on several levels. You know, RCSD does freshwater supply, sewage treatment, graffiti abatement, parks and recreation, and street lighting. And last but not least, our very own fire department, engine number 15, right next to RCSD. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been our 39th annual William M. Ketchum Armed Forces Appreciation Day Parade, honoring local heroes past and present. So thank you. Also, the unsung heroes are really the Kern County Search and Rescue, who have set up the streets. They put up all the barricades. These are the unsung heroes of the Antelope Valley. You want to do something exciting and rewarding? Look these guys up. They're out protecting our off-roaders, searching and rescuing folks that get off the city folk to get off lost in the mountains and the valleys and the crevices. So thank you, Kern County Search and Rescue Unit. So thanks for coming on out. Let's go to the park and check out Septemberfest. Again, my name is Dennis Schaffner. Thank you for coming on out. Okay, you want with, yeah.
I know you're taking pictures too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as the band and color guards disperse, I ask everyone, show of hands of all active duty servicemen, women, and veterans, and ask for a round of applause from the audience. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for today's parade, we'd like to introduce the parade Grand Marshal. Grand Marshal George Fischer, United States Navy, retired. George Fischer is a man who spent a total of 42.5 years in the United States Navy and Naval Reserve. Logging in more than 3,000 hours flying time, he retired as a Selected Reserve Command Master Chief. In his spare time, he had served 22 years in the Civil Air Patrol, flying 285 missions, outranking his Navy counterpart. To achieve the rank of Lieutenant Colonel, He served as airport manager at Rosamond Sky Park and continues as a member of the board of directors and sits on the Antelope Valley's Historical Society. From 1993 to 2003, he flew a part of a search and rescue volunteer group with the Kern County Sheriff's Department, identifying possible drug cultivations. He graduated as a mechanic and gunner on TBNs, the big torpedo bombers President George W. Bush flew. His flight time included crew chief in the Lockheed PV-2 patrol aircraft, the HAC-5A helicopter, support anti-gun submarine warfare, aerial gunner with a 250 caliber machine. He served on the USS Enterprise and USS Ranger. Somehow along the way, he married his beautiful wife Janet and raised 2 sons. Rosamond is proud of George Fischer. We think he is a local hero from the past and the present. Please welcome George Fischer.
Can you hear?
Hello, okay. Yeah, thank you all for coming as a grand group, and I personally would like to salute all the armed forces and all the guys that serve, and our cadets, Civil Air Patrol, Air Force cadets, Navy cadets, for their future service, for the good of our country. We need more young people that are like these. They're outstanding. So I appreciate all your congratulations, but I just one day at a time, and that's all the way the service is. So thank you again. You had a great community and a great leader, and you've done a wonderful job in participating. The band is outstanding. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, for first place, we have Edwards Air Force Base, ROTC, for first place. Okay, second category will be in the vehicles. All right, Charles, we got picked up. Okay, we have third place for the vehicles is Boron Community Queens. Third place, Boron Community Queens. We have somebody from Boron Community Queens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations. For second place for vehicle, Quartz Hill, Queens. Anybody from Quartz Hill, Queens? Quartz Hill, Queens. First place for vehicles, Funtime PT Cruiser. I must have forgot that they're out in the park. All right, this is just the other category. For third place, Windsweep Ranch. Anybody from Windsweep Ranch or Windswept? Okay, Windswept Ranch from the petting zoo. Anybody there? Okay, for second place for other, Southern Kern Roping and Riding. Anybody out there from Southern Kern Roping and Riding? All right, we're moving on. We'll be passing these out here shortly. For first place for other, Star Wars. Anybody for Star Wars out there? All right, get your cameras out, because this is pretty cool. All right, let's give a round of applause for Star Wars.
Angel, get in line with them.
Katie, other side.
That is so cool.
Christina, get one for me.
Okay, for second place for the float is Rosamond Royal Court. And also with that is the Rosamond Princesses.
Raise it up.
He can't give himself a trophy.
Pull your shirt down. Katie, pull your shirt down. Have Becky give it to you. There you go. Thank you.
All right, our next prize for first place for the float is Rosamond Red Racer 4-H. Let's give them a round of applause.
Oh, wait, sit behind. And Daniel, sit behind. Oh, perfect. Not cute. I'll cover my head.
Okay, next up we have Rosamond High School Marching Band. Okay, the next trophy we're presenting, Tropical, Mojave Tropical. Tropical Eagles Marching Band right there. Let's give them a round of applause. Okay, this one here is for the Armed Forces Appreciation Day Parade. This one here goes out to the Antelope Valley Queens. All right, let's give it up for the Rosamond Queens.
And she said, we're all just prisoners here, all around the lines. And the master chambers gather for the feast. Stab it with the stealing knife, but it